Modern villains suck. Here's why. Modern villains, and most villains for that matter, aren't well written. There's a really big and clear reason why they are poorly written that absolutely everyone overlooks despite the painfully obvious and simple answer. In short, villains aren't villains anymore. If you look up how to write a villain on YouTube's search bar, I guarantee you that you will find a video that tells you that in order to write a villain, they have to have a sad backstory, be totally original, and that they can't be evil. These people also claim that nobody is actually evil or identifies as evil. However, these people only think that way because either they're so good that they can't imagine that somebody would want to harm another being, or they themselves are evil and they're trying to justify their sins by claiming the world is morally gray and that what they did wasn't as bad as it seems. Now, if you don't believe that people are inherently evil, or at least have the desire to want to be evil, look no further than Richard Ramirez, nicknamed the Night Stalker, for not only killing but also destroying his victims in every manner he could find possible. I'll play a few interviews for you.
What was Richard's motive?
To kill.
That's it?
To kill. It's as simple as that.
They are desires, whereas if I didn't give in to them, I would be crushed by them. I believe in the evil in human nature. This is a wicked world, and in a wicked world, wicked people are born. I'm not going to blame society, my race, or people, or anything. It is up to the individual like myself to keep on knocking on whatever door they want to get into.
So the bigger question at hand is, why are people evil? Well, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to give you a Christian answer. Humans want what feels best, which is often not the best. Consequently, we screwed up the world. Now, since we were made in the image of God, we naturally try to be like Him. People who are good try to take on the caring and kind nature of God, while recognizing that they themselves are flawed and need a higher power and other people to fix them if they screw up. They get a deep sense of meaning when they help someone because they feel that if they didn't exist, that the world would be worse off. Evil people, on the other hand, get off on harming people because they are trying to be God and replace Him. They get a perverted sense of meaning because they see everyone else as weak game to manipulate or destroy at their bidding if they so choose, because in their sick and perverted mind, they are the strong and powerful predator, and no one dares to fight a predator. Now, even despite the fact that these people believe in morality being gray, they interestingly use two particular villains as their prime model on how to write a good antagonist. These two are none other than Heath Ledger's Joker and Sauron. Now, mind you, these two characters have no sob story to humanize them. They are not likable, and they are not justified in their actions at all. Also, their movie adaptations aren't totally original, as they are just a reiteration of their source material. And while they look cool, they don't have the most original character design either. If you think it hard enough, you'll realize that the Dark Knight Joker is just Che Guevara with clown makeup. And Sauron, well, he's just an eyeball. So why are these two guys labeled the greatest villains ever? If you recall, the heroes in The Lord of the Rings and The Dark Knight suffer grievously at the hands of their opponents, mentally, physically, or both. It is this factor alone that sets the audience on edge and makes them genuinely wonder whether or not the hero will achieve victory or even survive mentally from that victory. Writers, if you want to make a good villain, you got to make your villain a serious, collateral, and seemingly unstoppable threat. Your hero has to suffer at the hands of your villain, if not physically, then mentally, or both. But in some manner, they have to be changed by the end of it. Now, of course, that's not to say that you can't give an interesting backstory to your villain or give them a cool character design, but understand that this should not be your villain's focus. Instead, focus your attention on making your villain a threat. Otherwise, the audience will be bored and they will predict the hero's inevitable victory, which is not something you want for your story. I hope this helps. Happy writing.